Hi, everybody, and this is a tour of LinkedIn. So, if you do not have a LinkedIn account, when you go to linkedin.com for the first time, you'll be um, um, asked to set up an account. So, just fill in your information. Now, in the email, if you're going to be using this for your own company or your own business, please use a business email. It just looks more professional than a Yahoo or a Gmail or any one of those. If you are using this for personal, like to get a job, then I would use a personal email. Don't use one that is funny or cute. This is a professional network, so you want to come across as a professional, even if you're looking for a job or if you have a business. So, just fill this out and click join now. But since I'm already in there, I'm just going to go in and sign in. And as you're setting up the account, it's going to walk you through different steps. If you have a resume, you can upload it. But if you already have an account and you haven't used it for a long time, you want to just go in and update your profile. And you want and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. So what I'm going to do first is give you a tour of LinkedIn. So this is home, and you can always go back home by clicking home right here. So here you can click here and see your recent activity. So anything that you've posted or shared, either automatically or manually, will show up here. Any articles you've published will be here. Any drafts that you have, because it's happened to me that I start writing an article and I get interrupted, so I save it as a draft here. And here where you see how many people are following you. People can follow you on LinkedIn without having to be connected to you. So if you don't want to connect with somebody because you don't know them or they're in a foreign country, so they can follow you. They don't need to be connected to you to not they can still see your stuff, anything that you've posted, any articles that you've published, that kind of thing, just by following you. All right, let's go back home again. So under here you see all of, oh dear, well, this is a hide this particular update. Okay, if you don't want to see something, you can hide it. Okay, so, and that happens a lot of time, unfortunately. And one of the things that for LinkedIn, again, this is a professional network, so unless you work in politics or have a job that deals with religion, you're a pastor, a rabbi, or whatever, keep religion and politics out of it. I don't want to know, and people just don't want to know. Okay, if you want to do personal stuff, put that on a personal Twitter account or on your personal Facebook page, but don't keep that out of LinkedIn. This is a professional network, so what you want to share on LinkedIn are articles and blog posts and tips, and things related to your business and your industry. And you can share other people's stuff, and you can share your own stuff. In fact, right here, you can share an update. So here, I can just type that I'm recording my LinkedIn, or I should say my tour of LinkedIn video for my boot camp and I think I have this already pasted. So this is this is actually going to be an extension. Boot camp, let's see, 201 and extension of 101. Okay. Get and social savvy is my hashtag here. Okay, now LinkedIn on the desktop version does not, hashtags don't work on it. However, supposedly in the mobile apps, and a good percentage of LinkedIn users use the mobile app, the hashtags do work on their mobile applications. They've got a couple of them. They have one for LinkedIn proper and one for groups. And we'll talk about groups in another video. So here I can share it public, which will be here. I can just share it with my connections, or I can share it on public and Twitter. And I'm also going to hashtag LinkedIn since I'm also doing it for Twitter. And here, as soon as you add the Twitter one, it's going to count down from 140 characters. That's the maximum length of a tweet. So here I'm good at 126. So I'm going to go ahead and share this. Okay. So up here you can upload a photo, and you can do infographics or motivational quotes or a photo of your business or you doing something or whatever. That's what you do with here. Here in Write an Article is where you can actually write an article for LinkedIn. And this is a great way to establish yourself as an expert in your field. Now there's another video showing how to do this. So I'm going to go back to the other one, but that's how you get to that there. Over here, you're going to see 15 ways to keep in touch. So these are people who are your connections, and so if you see they have a an anniversary or a birthday or a new job, so I just like them, depending on who it is and what it is. And so I can also message them, and it'll actually tell them congratulations, that kind of thing. And what this does, it keeps you top of mind on their LinkedIn. Oh, good God, here's another one. Oh, dear. Oh, well. Anyways, so here, as you can thank people. If you don't want to thank people, you don't know who they are or whatever, you can just skip it. Okay, or it's like there's certain people in certain industries that I would just skip. Okay, so up here, when you once you upload a picture, your picture will show up here. So here is where you can go to try premium, and you can try it for 30 days. Now with premium there, and I explained this in the classes of the difference, so I won't get into it now because it's in the LinkedIn class. So it's up to you if you want to try it and see if it's worth it. If it's worth the investment, then by all means use it. I've been on LinkedIn since the summer of 2008, and I've never had to, I've never gone premium. You can, if your company is hiring, you can put job postings in here. LinkedIn does have paid advertising, as shown here or up here also. This is all paid advertising. The only problem with LinkedIn, as of this date, you can't target people by age, gender, or location. You can target them by the type of company, by the industry, by their position in the company. So it's really hard to target people. So this is good if you're B2B and you have a worldwide audience, because everybody sees the ads here. But it's really hard if you're local. If you just want to connect with local people, I suggest you do that in the groups. And so they'll look for the groups video also in this package. So here also, you can change your language. Here's a company page, and that will be another video, how to set up a company page. But in this one, I'm going to show you how to manage your privacy and settings. Okay, when you first set up your account in any of these networks, it defaults for them sending you an email for every absolute crazy reason. So you want to go through these one by one and choose what type of emails you wish to receive from LinkedIn. So here you click on this, and if you don't want to get any emails, invitations, messages, no, I don't want to get messages. I don't need to get so many. I'm not looking for a job. So group updates. So I don't need to get all these emails. Course recommendations, no thank you. Okay, so invitations, yes, I want to keep getting those because that's how I grow my network. Okay, so you want to check on these. The other thing is privacy. So privacy Here is where you can edit your public profile. So a couple of different things that you can do here. You want to edit your public profile URL. And by clicking on here, when you set up an account on LinkedIn, it defaults with your name and a bunch of numbers at the end because the profile address needs to be unique. You want to get rid of those so it's easier to put your LinkedIn link to your profile on a business card or a resume. So here's where you would edit it, all lowercase, no spaces, no special characters. If you have a common name, you may have to add your middle name or middle initial if somebody else beat you to it. Fortunately, that happens. Okay, so here also, you want to make sure your public profile is visible to everybody. Now, while you're working on your profile, you might want to make it private for a while, not visible to anybody. But here also, you can select what shows and what doesn't show on here. So if you don't want your past positions to show or your education to show, you can shut this off. But again, this is the public profile. If somebody is one of your connections are going to see all this. So that's something also to keep in mind when you're connecting with people. So you don't want to really, especially, be careful with people from foreign countries because they're going to be able to see all this information from you. Plus, they're going to be able to see your contacts. And I'll show you how to, you can change that also. Here is where you create a public profile badge, and I mentioned this in the class, and you get code, so you better know where to put the code on your website so it renders correctly. So or you can have a badge or you can have a button. So depends on what you want it to show. They've actually changed this recently, so these actually look very nice. Okay, I have my business page one on my site, so I'm not going to do a personal one. All right, so back to settings. And over in privacy, here you can profile viewing options, choose whether or not you're visible in view or viewing in private mode. Sharing profile edits. Now, I usually keep this off because otherwise all of your connections will get a message that you've updated your profile. Now, if you're gonna say you've got a new job or you just redid you just added a new, you just started a company or whatever, and you want that to show, then yes, but you can shut this off here in the privacy settings. The viewers of this profile also viewed. So choose whether or not this feature appears when people view your profile. I shut it off. I don't want them going to my competition. So who can see your connections? So only my connections can see my connections. Or you can put them totally private. So I talked to somebody the other day who wanted to make sure his competition didn't see his connections. And so I said, well, you can put it only you. And that's it. You make your connections private to everybody. I'm here to network. And if somebody needs an introduction to somebody because they want to do business with them or they are looking for a job, I want them to be able to see who I'm connected with, and I'll be more than happy to give them an introduction. All right, so got some settings. We're going to go over to profile. So here, once you're in profile, you can edit your profile. So here, put your full name there. I've seen some people put their last initial. Well, there's a lot of people on LinkedIn. In fact, there's like 450 million people on LinkedIn. If you meet somebody at a networking event and they're looking for you to connect on LinkedIn, a couple of things you need is your name, what you do, your company, and your picture, and your local area. Okay, because I'll be looking for somebody, and and they recently moved, or they even moved 6 months ago, and they still haven't updated their LinkedIn profile, and so their profile still says California or Indiana or wherever they were from, And I'm like, is that who it is? I don't know. So I'm looking at the picture, and I just met them once at a networking event. I'm not sure. So I'm not going to send them a connection request if I'm not sure who they are. But your picture should be a headshot, professional looking, and yes, it could be a selfie, but not too casual, so it doesn't look too casual. But please put a photo up there. It just looks professional. Do not put a logo on here. Your logo is for your company profile. This again is like the white pages. Okay, so here you have your title. So so I have my little tagline in here that I just thought up. And so who are you? What is it that you do? And here's your industry and your local area. Okay, so your current position, this comes from your experience. So if you have your company, and it brings up the most recent one. So here I'm actually still with Legal Shield, but I'm not active with them. So I have that previous because I didn't want it to come up here. And then your education, I've connected with former fellow students from my college here. Another thing you're going to want to do is your contact information. Okay, if you don't want to put your phone number, you don't have to. If you have a physical address, like if you have a store or an office, you can put that here, but absolutely put your email address. How do you want people to contact you? Okay, you have to make it easy for people to do stuff, because sometimes they might want to contact you, but they're not a connection, so they can't send you a message. And maybe they don't want to send you a message through LinkedIn. They want to send you a regular email. So, make it easy for people to do so. Put your email address there. Connect your Twitter account. And like I showed you when I shared that message earlier, my Twitter account was connected here. So I hit two birds with one stone. When I'm sharing stuff to LinkedIn, by clicking on a share on LinkedIn button, it automatically connects to my Twitter account, so it saves a lot of time. Here you have the ability to add up to 3 websites. So I have my main company website, I have where my classes are, and I have my Legal Shield one here too. You can also, if you don't have 3 websites, you can add your Facebook, you can add your Google Plus, another one of your social medias. Whichever your main networks are, or you can put your blog, a link directly to your blog post in here. So that's contact info. Okay, so as you're filling out your if you're setting up and you have very few or not enough connections, you want to upload your email program. So if you want to add, you go to the add contacts, and so whichever program you use, whether it be Gmail, Hotmail, other email, you can import a CSV file from Outlook, Yahoo, whichever you use. You can add it. Add your address here, and actually this is explained in the class, so I'm not going to get into it in this video, but that's how you get to it if you don't do it when you first set up your account. People you may know is basically that. So this is LinkedIn thinking that I know these people because we have at least one person in common, and that's what it'll show you here. We have one person in common. So you can see who you have in common, through your list here. And if you want to connect, you just hit connect, and it will automatically send them a connection request. Now, let's see. Over here is education. So if you want to, LinkedIn bought lynda.com, which is a place that has classes, online tutorials, or a whole slew of different things. So here, this is what this is. And so you can go ahead and check to see if there's anything that you might want to be interested in learning and so forth. And they have a free month. Look at that. Okay. So, all right. So interests. Okay. So here is where you go to groups. SlideShare is part of, is owned by LinkedIn, and you can upload slides. freelance marketplace is a new thing here. And so if you are a freelancer, kind of sort of like me, or a photographer or a graphic designer or whatever you do, a freelance marketplace, you're and now, again, LinkedIn is more B2B, so I don't know if a contractor that works in homes might work here. I don't know. But this is a new program that they have, and so you can actually add yourself as a, see, look at this. See all the things you can find in here. And so then the people that are in this program will get an email message, and the top 5 will be able to upload a quote or proposal to you. Now, your name does usually will appear on it if the person's connected to you. So if you know that person, it happened to me. So I actually I wasn't one of the first 5. So, but I knew the person was a connection, so I sent him an email saying I'd be interested in quoting. So, are you a freelancer or independent professional? Okay, so you can read their blog. It tells you how to join their freelancer this freelancer system that they have, which is pretty cool. ProFinder. Okay, back to profile and edit profile. So one of the things you want to make sure you get is you become an all-star. So this is important, and don't worry, the full circle doesn't come full circle. One of the things you want to do is you want to have a summary. Now, the summary gives you a lot of space here to put information. And you want to make sure that they're short sentences, make bullet points. Unfortunately, at this time, LinkedIn doesn't have formatting for this. So I just use a little hyphen to create a bullet point. But this is where you kind of toot your own horn. What you can do for service or product for somebody, this is what it is. It's not salesy. But you can put calls to action in here. Unfortunately, links do not link on here. But this is all keywords too. So LinkedIn has a very powerful search engine. And I read an article not too long ago that they're actually mirroring Google in how powerful it is in their algorithm of how they can pull up stuff. So if you're looking for services, for me, LinkedIn is my virtual Rolodex. Somebody asked me if I know a professional photographer, for instance. So I'll just go in here. I ask them, okay, what part of the valley do you live? And then I'll go in and I'll look through and I'll say, okay, I'll send them these couple of people. They're nearby, and so they come up. And even if they're not in my network, I can also recommend them that way also. But it's really important. This is about how much space you have, because I think I maxed out on the amount of characters allowed in here. So you can put a lot of information in here. And again, don't use long paragraphs because nobody wants to read long paragraphs. So people will peruse short sentences and bullet points. And you only have 7 seconds to catch somebody's attention. Somebody will say 8. I heard 7 first. So more than likely it'll be 3 or 4 seconds as more distractions come around. Another thing you can do here in your summary is upload videos, PowerPoint presentations, PDF files, your resume if you're looking for a job. And so this is really nice, so you can showcase your work. You can tell people what it is that you do. People are more likely to click and watch a video than read a blog post. So that's what you want it to do. You want to make it easy for people to do stuff. So, and then refresh these every so often. I mean, I looked at this a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, oh, that's an old one. So I took it down and I refreshed it. You just click right here to upload a video, and this will tell you the supported providers like YouTube and Vimeo, SlideShare, which is obviously theirs. So here you can upload a file or put the link of the YouTube video. Okay, so next comes skills and endorsements. Now, one of the things you can do with these blocks too is you can move them around. Okay, so for me, since I'm not looking for a job, look, it just bounced under the summary. All right, I want the summary first. So you can move them around. So skills and endorsements. So these again are all keywords. And think of different ways to say the same thing. Okay, so here, for instance, you got social media marketing, you got social media, you got marketing, you got social networking, you've got online marketing, you've got web marketing. Okay, web marketing and online marketing, that's the same thing. And I've got internet marketing in there too, so because you never know what the people are going to put into the search box to try and find you. So you want to make sure you got all your bases covered. All these lovely people are people that have endorsed me for these, for these particular skills. So, and you'll see that when you log on to LinkedIn or you pop into somebody's profile, you'll see they're asking, does this person have these skills? Well, for me, a recommendation carries more weight than an endorsement, because a recommendation, people actually have to write something positive about you. The endorsements, anybody can click on the buttons, So when I first saw them coming up, and I'm like, anyway, but it helps with the searches, so what the heck? I accept them. They're there. Okay, recommendations. Okay, so recommendations here are you can in your experience. So recommendations are tied to a particular job that's in your experience. So if you want to, if you know somebody from the past and you want them to recommend you, you have to have that job in your experience. They can't just recommend you because you're a good guy or a good person. Okay. So how do you get recommendations? I believe if you move them all down here, this is volunteer. Wait a second. So you can add media also to each of your jobs. Like I don't have any here, but I could add a video. So you can add a document, a photo, a link, or a video, or a presentation. So you can add it to your experience. And this is great because it gives you another place to promote your business. So if you ask to be recommended, so you want to click on the recommendations, and then in fact, I'm going to remind her. Okay. Okay. Thanks. Okay. Let's put it this way. Okay. I can write. I can't write today. Appreciate. Okay. Okay. All right. So I can choose. You have to choose your job, and then you can add up to 3 people here to ask. So this has to be either coworkers or happy camper customers, and that's a great thing. And don't wait forever to ask for these recommendations, because people will forget. You want to make sure that they're still very happy with your services or your products, and so you want to make sure that you get these recommendations in here. Having recommendations helps you become an all-star. So that's and it helps. It's all word of mouth here too. So below your experience, if you do any volunteering, okay, so you can put this here, any causes you care about, organizations that you support, anything that you can add a publication that you've done, and I should add my my ebooks in here. Organizations that I belong to are here. Additional organizations, past or honors and awards, any additional information. Now, here's where you can put some personal stuff in here, and you know, here's your education in here, and you don't have to put the date if you don't want to. I mean, why have I got my high school in there? Your recommendations will be here in the bottom. So here's where you can you can ask to recommend here. And as soon as somebody does do a recommendation for you, then you can add it to your profile. It's not automatically added to your profile. Groups are groups. So I will be doing another video on groups here, but the groups that you belong to will show here on your profile, as well as people that you are following are here. You know, companies that you're following. You can follow companies without, you know, if you're interested in doing business with them or if you're interested in working for them. So follow the companies and what their news and what they're doing here. So that basically concludes the basic tour of LinkedIn. And so look for the other videos. Oh, one of the things I wanted to do, this popped up right here to remind me, is edit the background. So you can actually edit this background, and I just thought of something here. Okay, so I'm going to change my image because I redid one. I used Canva, which is a free tool to cover. Where is? I thought I did it. I didn't download it. Oh well. Let's go back. Oh, cancel. Okay. You can upload a banner. Okay, so designs. There it is. That's what I wanted. Did I? Okay, good. I'm glad I did this. I want to get this down a tidge more because I saw that they have a block there. So that's not going to help. Okay. All right. Okay, so download that. And so Canva's really cool. It's a free tool, and you can create graphics and logos and everything and add text to them. And it's really, really a nice tool to use. All right, so now I'm going to change image. Let's go back. Okay, and here is perfect. Okay, you see, when I've had this higher, this banner would have been right on top of it. So, so very nice, very nice. That came out good. Now, the thing with this banner is depending on the size of the computer that they're looking at it, this block will, cover some stuff. So you want to make sure that no text is totally obstructed. So, but this is pretty cool. I liked it. Okay. All right, so thanks for watching, and look for the other LinkedIn videos here in the Part 2 boot camp.